Right, so we're here at Motorcycles R Us down in Underwood. Got a brand new KTM 450 sitting in there for us, so we're going to go in, check the shop out, show you guys around a little bit. Hey guys, so it's been a little bit of time since we're at Motorcycles R Us picking up the bike. Just been crazy busy trying to get to it, trying to get time to build it up and everything. But wanted to give a massive shout out to those guys, Anthony and the whole team at Motorcycles R Us. They've been unreal to me. I never actually got the deal I was hoping for through KTM. I was hoping to get the top sort of level privateer stuff where they sort of supply a bike. Didn't work out this year. Fair enough with everything that's going on in the world, but those guys hooked me up with an awesome deal on the bike, so massive thank you to them. Remember guys, if you can support anyone who supports me, that's a huge help to me. Those guys, just like any online store, you can call them up and order what you want and they'll ship it out to you. So massive thank you to those guys. And now it's time. We're actually only about 3 weeks out from the first round of the Nationals, so I'm pretty stressed. Me and Michaela are going to be in the van, gone for about 12 weeks. From about 7 days time, so trying to get everything sorted for the season, doing the bike build now. So I wanted to run you guys through a bit of that, what we're going to be doing. As you can see, I got 21 bike there, and then I got my practice bike, the 20 here. Both of them are sort of stripped. I wanted to show you guys the whole way through, piece by piece, building the bike up, but how it's worked out, I've got bits and pieces everywhere, so I'm just going to build this race bike up as much as I can, and then I'll show you guys what I've put on it, what I'm doing to it to go racing. Just, yeah, things are just hectic, so trying to do what I can, show you guys along the way. But we're going to build it up now. I'm going to be the first ride on it tomorrow, break it in and everything before the season, so I'll get my ass into gear, start working on it, and we'll show you guys what it comes up like. Okay, so it took me way longer than expected, just like always with dirt bike work. But got the race bike pretty well all built up. This is just about going to be the bike that I'm going to race. But I will have my suspension, so my cone valves and track shock. Whereas at the moment I just got the standard stuff, just borrowed stuff, just while mine's all getting redone. Alright, so bedded the bike in now, got the frame a bit more comfy, got the other suspension set up right, so we got a bit of a feel for the track and everything. Now we put the cone valves and track shock in the bike with the new setting, so I'm pretty keen to go test that out.
I left my oats in there the other day and they got red hot, but it was actually real good.
Yeah, so we got the cone valves, track shock in there with the new setting, pretty keen to try it out. So this now is pretty well the race bike. With this suspension and everything, this is going to be what we're running. So keen to get out and just see how it all feels. first day on the new bike. Definitely felt a bit stiff to start with, but we run it in a little bit. Everything feels super good. That throttle that I chucked on, that Motion Pro throttle, it's definitely a good choice. I sort of forgot I haven't been running it lately on the practice bike, and it's definitely an advantage. I love not having to twist the throttle like a kilometre before it goes. Yeah, not too much really to say other than that. Good day, solid day on the bike, everything works sweet. Got the cone bells and stuff in, and it's feeling pretty good, so we're yeah, keen to get the season started. Okay, so this video's been a little bit all over the shop, just trying to get everything sorted. Like I said, it's pretty crazy right now, but now we've got a couple of hours on the bike, got it all run in. My suspension's back in there, so this is the exact bike that I'm going to be racing for round 1 of the Nationals in about a week and a half. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run you guys through piece by piece all the different stuff I have from stock, and I guess why I run it and why I choose to do that. Alright, so I'll start with the looks. Typically I keep it pretty simple, don't sort of change too much, but this year I went something a little bit different with the orange front leading to the back, all being black. I think it come up so sick. I'm pretty pumped with how it looks. A massive thank you to Backyard Designs. That's the sticker kits I run. Those guys nailed it, I think, with how she looks. Right, starting with the handlebars. So I run a little bit taller bend on these Necken bars. This is just an old set I've got. Same bend though that's sitting on the bike. A little bit taller than the standard KTM bend. Idea behind it for me, so in my neck injury, my left deltoid doesn't fully work. It's still partially paralyzed. So instead of having my elbows right up everywhere and using a lot of deltoid, so your shoulder muscle, I'm able to pull back and pull with my lats, so a bit more in my back. Just a little bit of an adjustment I had to make, and I found it helped heaps. Alright, so up on the handlebars here, I've got the Motion Pro Rev 2 variable throttle rate, throttle system thing. All it does is it allows me to, the throttle pull is much shorter. I can make it way more aggressive, so instead of having to pull all the way to get the throttle open, it's just like a quarter turn and the thing's pinned. So I just find it helps a lot with the whole chicken wing. I don't seem to chicken wing as much. I can just come out of the corner and get aggressive straight away. And then to finish off the handlebars, I just run standard levers, standard everything else pretty well. But I've always got my pipboard on my bike. I really honestly struggle to ride without it now. It's hard to concentrate without the lap times. Just something to help keep pushing you forwards. And one last thing up here, I do actually change the top triple steering head, just because it's solid mounted, this one, and that way if you have any little tip overs or whatever, you don't have that tweaked handlebar feeling. This year I've got Hahn wheel set, so just a much stronger wheel. Obviously it looks cool, but the reason I did it was just it's a much stronger wheel. I find on the 450 you hit stuff harder, you attack sections harder, you might over jump jumps, and with the standard wheels I had on my last bike, I just kept putting dents in them and buckling them just because you were hitting stuff so much harder. So these wheels doesn't seem to have that issue. They hold up. I can smash stuff. A couple times I've felt something in it during a moto and be like, holy, I hit that hard. Come in, check the wheels, not a loose spoke, nothing, like they just hold up really strong. So that's the idea behind them. Right, now I've got to thank Jed Parsons. He hooks us up with some Guts Racing seat covers. Just a little bit extra grip on these ripples in the seat. 450, I want as much grip as possible, keep me forward on the bike out of turns and stuff like that. And I've got a Pro Circuit TI6 full system pipe on the bike. I have actually tried a stock pipe now, and I think the Pro Circuit, the difference, it feels a little bit more open, like the bike doesn't feel as restricted. It sort of just pulls a little bit nicer the whole way through is what I found. It's not like something gnarly that's going to rip out of your hands or anything like that, crazy difference, but it's just a nice smooth power the whole way through is what I personally felt with it. Some of you guys would have already seen that my mate Keith and sponsor from Furnication, he's a fabricator and he builds me these custom brake pedals. As you can see, it's just got different adjustment points. So typically the KTM is always as far forward, it's just up the front here. Whereas now I've brought it back a little bit and just makes that transition from your toes to the brake and back just smaller, because I try to ride on my toes as much as possible. I feel like it's the best technique. You can control the bike a lot better. But yeah, just makes that transition so much easier. I don't know if I could ride a bike without it now. It's I definitely love using it. Alright, now chain sprockets. So I do change my sprockets. I run Super Sprox front and rear sprockets with an EK race chain. And I do change the gearing. I run a 52-14 combination. It's just, I find it's a little bit more aggressive than the standard combination, which is a 13-49. Just helps the bike pick up and go a little bit. And then the idea behind the EK race chain, pretty well, it's a light chain but a strong chain. So the heavier chain you go, obviously it robs power from the bike, and because I don't have the budget to go and spend a heap of money on my engine, I just try to eliminate stuff like that. If I run a big heavy chain, I might lose a horsepower, for example. So definitely don't want to rob myself of any horsepower. Right, final piece to the puzzle. I run WP cone valve forks and a WP Exact Pro track shock. A-kit suspension. So expensive stuff, but I did buy it a while ago and I swap it from bike to bike. So the initial payment definitely hurt me, but now it's sort of paid off after the years of using it. I look after it, I get it serviced regularly, so it holds up for me, and now I'm able to run like some pretty high-end suspension, because I feel like it's more important for me, more so than the engine side of things. Obviously, if you've got a super fast engine but you're not comfortable, it's pretty well useless. So, yeah. And that's about it. That is my complete race bike. Alright, so I guess in race bike terms, it is a pretty stock bike, in the way of, I don't have an ignition, I don't have any engine work done, all of that is completely stock. But I do feel like I've got the most bang for my buck, if that makes any sense. Like I feel like I've sort of done everything I can to give myself the best race bike possible on a budget. And like, I am 65 kilos on a 450, and KTM has a super strong stock engine. So I don't really believe that I'm going to be crazy underpowered or anything like that. I believe if I still execute everything right, I can pull a whole shot on this bike, and I can be super competitive as long as I'm performing well. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I'm pretty pumped with how the bike's turned out, and we've got, yeah, like I said, about a week and a half and we'll be racing. So thanks heaps for watching, guys. Thanks for all your support. I do appreciate it every week, all the views and stuff like that. So I'm going to keep working hard, and we'll see you in the next one.